Good afternoon, everyone. I know you're all starving, but bear with me. This is going to be short and sweet and hopefully enjoyable. And it's about a new idea. So we talked earlier about the importance of cultural change and cultural development. So this is something new that KTI and the universities are trying. So it is a very positive story. So we'll zip through it and we'll get you to lunch as quickly as possible. So managed consultancy. What is managed consultancy in universities and why is it a good idea? So I was delighted to be invited by Alison to speak today and to share with you my view on why this is a really important initiative for Ireland. It's an established practice in many countries, particularly in the UK, but it is something we have not yet tackled in Ireland. And there is huge opportunity here for universities and higher education institutes to add value to society generally by taking on consultancy projects. By way of personal background, I didn't know Jeff Skinner when I was leaving university, and I wasn't saved from going to work for a consultancy firm. And I've been almost 20 years working in consultancy as a result. I was most recently a director with KPMG in their management consulting arm until February of this year, when I left to take up this really exciting challenge with Consult UCD. So the role I saw advertised on LinkedIn late last year came about as a result of a call for funding from KTI. So along with Maynooth University, Trinity College Dublin, Waterford Institute of Technology, and University of Limerick, UCD won some funding to set up a managed consultancy service pilot. Sorry, going in the wrong direction. So examples of consultancy. What I wanted to give you here was a flavor of what consultancy with a HEI or a university might look like or feel like. If you work with a HEI or university, you can expect to get technical and innovative solutions to business projects. For example, recently I've seen a large American multinational manufacturer in the pharmaceutical space came to UCD and said they had a reaction that had worked well for many years, but all of a sudden the results were declining. They didn't know why, and they wondered, was there an engineer who could help them? One of our engineers spent one day with them, reviewing their reagents, reviewing their processes and their facilities and their technologies, and came up with a list of recommendations and observations to help them improve their results. Strategic initiatives and planning. A very interesting SME contacted UCD. They're experts in voice recognition technology, but they wanted to undertake some user evaluation and take on some user feedback. So they're currently working with one of our academics who has expertise in voice recognition, but is also an expert in the user experience. So together they're designing an evaluation study. The company will go off and gather its data, and then our expert will help them analyze that data and look to see where the future may lie. Reviews of existing strategy and contributions to policy. Lots of academics from many institutions are active in this space. In UCD, I've seen an expert in the business of biotechnology working with a small SME that has massive growth plans. And what he's doing is working with them to look at their organizational structure and make sure that it's fit for purpose and will suit their business as they grow. We provide expert reports and experts who are willing to appear in court or provide expert reports for any type of legal process. We also have a lot of requests for bespoke training. One of the interesting examples I've seen so far in UCD is a group of 6 academics from the social sciences side of UCD came together to design a 3-day masterclass on cost-benefit analysis and its application in the public sector. And that was for a small public sector organization. Lots of our academics are regularly asked to speak at seminars and business conferences, and you'll find our experts in big data and AI and robotics are in particular demand at the moment. And then finally, lots of our academics are invited to serve on advisory boards. One other type of consultancy service that HEIs and universities will offer is access to specialist research or facilities or equipment. For example, come and use our 3D scanners or our 3D printers or our CT scanners. That type of equipment is available. And also, people with new ideas who want to test a product often come to a university and say, I'm thinking about this recycled animal bedding as a source of fuel. Can you help me create a pellet? Can you help me test the energy production of this pellet? So I hope you can see that the type of consultancy is really varied. It covers academics and experts from all types of disciplines, and it serves the needs of all types of organizations, from small startups to public sector organizations, and for every type of business in between. I hope you can see as well, potentially, that consultancy is different to research. Consultancy is, in general terms, the application of existing knowledge to solve a client-driven problem, where research in its general terms is the pursuit of new knowledge and often results in new IP being generated. So why would a university then offer consultancy? Well, from what we've seen in the UK so far, there are many stakeholders who benefit from this type of consultancy. The clients. Very importantly, clients get innovative solutions, often quite quickly, to challenges they're facing. And as a result, society in general then should benefit from, we would hope, increased productivity, growth of organizations, increased opportunities then for employment, and ultimately returns to the exchequer. Clients also benefit from developing relationships with the universities, which will ultimately be where they go to look for their next generation of talent. The university obviously benefits then from these relationships. The more relationships universities generate with all types of different organizations, the more able it is to increase its impact and to add to society in a very general and broad way. One example of how universities and clients work together for mutual benefit comes from an interesting example from the University of East Anglia in the UK. The University of East Anglia was contacted by Norwich Union, a local business, who wanted some help reviewing their customer data. So they'd spent a bit of time working with the statistics department, and that was back in the mid-2000s. Now, over time, the relationship has deepened, there's been more engagements, and Norwich Union has become part of the Aviva group. As a result, there is now an MSc in Actuarial Studies in UAE, or UEA, that the Aviva staff actually lecture on, and the Aviva also sponsor a chair in insurance statistics in the university. Aviva benefits from having unparalleled access to, and indeed influence over, their next generation of talent, and they're also at the forefront of statistical thinking and methodology. Our academics and our consultants benefit from taking on consultancy. In the last couple of months, as I've been starting Consult UCD and working in this space, I've been really fortunate to work with the University of Cambridge and learn from their model. And one of their academics actually came over to spend a day with us in UCD. And he spoke from personal experience of taking on consultancy over the last 20 years, of how enjoyable he's found it. So he's found it really nice to go out and spend short amounts of time with loads of different companies. He's also enjoyed being able to go back to the university and not have to stay working for some of those companies. But he's also felt that his experience has brought a new dynamic to his lectures. So ultimately, the students benefit. He finds his lectures are more engaging, full of real-life examples and anecdotes that the students can relate to, and they can see how the knowledge actually transfers into real-life application. And then ultimately for our students, our most important end user, the more relationships a university has with organizations who are positively disposed towards the university, the better their chance for employment and the range of employment opportunities open to them. So this all sounds great. How do we make it happen? Well, of vital importance is to put in a managed consultancy service to support this. If we want to realize these benefits, the engagement between the client and the university has to be professional. If there's a myth out there that universities are difficult or slow to deal with, it will be the role of me and my colleagues, the other 4 members of the pilot, to dispel that by creating managed consultancy services that are dynamic and flexible and that respond in a timely manner to the needs of businesses and organizations. So what will this managed consultancy service do? It'll be a central point of contact for clients. If an organization has a concern, a challenge, a project that it wants to undertake and needs some expert advice, the consultancy service will be the place for them to go to say, hey, I need an expert in biotechnology, or I need an expert in animal medicine, whatever it might be. We'll also have a role in making sure we're looking outward, so looking out from the university and looking at the market. What does the market need, and how can the university help to solve that need? Very important in the last discussion we touched there on skills, and I see this as a really important role for the managed consultancy service. If we have academics who are interested in sharing their knowledge and expertise via consultancy arrangements, we need to make sure we equip them with the skills to be good consultants. Some of this work I've done so far in UCD has been quite a cultural change for some of the academics who've come along. So they're used to getting up and speaking to lecture halls and giving a monologue for 45, 55 minutes. And one of the things I tell them that the most important skill of a consultant is to listen. So stop talking and listen to what your client has to say. Understand their challenge, understand their context, and then apply your knowledge to their specific challenge. So that's going to be something we need to develop in our academics, and it's very much a challenge I'm looking forward to. The consultancy managed service will also provide commercial and contractual support to both sides, to both the client and the academic, helping them get the relationship up and running, and then providing support along the way throughout the journey of the project, ensuring that we grow and develop and support relationships throughout their life cycle. I hope you can see that there is a very interesting space. It's one I'm delighted to be working in. I'm very excited about the opportunity that exists to develop and grow managed consultancy services in a HEI. And I'm more than happy to take some questions now, if anybody would have some, or I'll let you go to your lunch if there are any other questions or not. No? Okay, well, I'm around for the rest of oh, sorry, over there, yes, hi.
How are you funded?
How are we funded? So thanks to Alison Campbell, there is funding from KTI for a 3-year pilot to get up and running.
And is there a cost for people to use your service?
Oh yes, of course. That's where the commercial element of this comes in. Yes, there would be a cost to somewhat like research or some of the other arrangements that have been talked about before. Some of the fees that come from the clients, from the consulting fees, would go towards my service.
And does your service do collaborations like in the licensing area?
Well, often our consulting can lead to other types of collaborations. Again, that would be the experience in the UK, that consultancy can be a quick, low-risk, short-term interaction that can lead to bigger relationships or bigger collaborations, research studies or PhD placements, etc. So that would be the goal at the end of the day.
Okay, thank you. Good luck with it. It sounds very interesting.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hi. I think it's likely to be a large number of small deals, to be honest. Academics are busy people. You know, their heart lies in their teaching and their research. Consultancy will be an add-on for that. So as a result, I think it'll be a large number of small projects. The idea is that certainly in UCD, I can't really speak for the other 4, but the idea is that my services are a voluntary service, but that the benefits to using the service would outweigh the reasons for an academic to do it privately. So there are benefits for both the client and for the academic in terms of using a university. So for example, when the contracting would happen, the contract would be between the university and the external organization rather than between an individual and an organization. And by doing that then as well, the academic would be covered by the university's insurance policies, negating them the need to take out private insurance or professional indemnity insurance for the individuals. Not at the moment. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy your lunch.